Don't let people steal your artwork, as in literally steal it, like you drop it off for an exhibition and you never see it again because you didn't take a picture, or have some kind of consignment where you write down the details of the work and the length of time that the exhibit is allowed to have it before they have to return it, that you can get signed or have an email confirmed so that, you know, there's some sort of timestamp on it. Because well, this is the kind of lesson, it's hard to really learn it unless you've been burned pretty bad. So I say this knowing that and hoping that if I give enough details that maybe somebody can benefit from this. The first gallery I worked with professionally in New York City was run by artists. They're amazing. We're still friends 18 years later. They were organized and honest. And when they closed, I got all the artwork back that they hadn't sold. I got all the records of the things that they had sold, where they had gone, how much they had sold for. And then so I had optimistic feelings about those kind of relationships. And then a gallery I worked with a little bit down the line, in the lead up to an exhibition, I had been dropping artwork off like a 5-year-old wanting affirmation from their teacher about like the painting they made kind of thing, with no photo. It was before I had an iPhone, no details about the artwork. And then when that relationship ended, I got most of the artwork back, but there was a lot I couldn't have account for, but I knew there were ones I couldn't account for. And then so maybe you can ask for back what you can't even describe exists. And here, so all right, so just to be pretty raw, this is the last email I ever got about that relationship. It was that you see here, I'm talking in 2024 and this email is from 2012, and there's mention here of 2 artworks that they can't give back because they're in the process of being sold. And let me tell, this is the last email I ever got in my follow-up about like, hey, did you sell them yet? Do you have money yet? Can you give the work back? This is the final email I ever received. So is the kind of thing I guess you could pursue legally, but that's pretty draining, and I didn't have any documentation, which really helps in any kind of legal matter. I just want to jump in here to say that I am using kind of a sensationally bad story and the term being stolen from to hopefully have this lesson sink in, but in the main, I think everybody in the arts are overworked and problems come from just everyone having too much of a workload rather than being actually dishonest. So I just want to approach this with some compassion and say that as much as you being organized and them being organized is you guys supporting each other, because the arts is a real uphill battle. So what's required for a consignment form? Well, at minimum, you need the name of the consignor, which is you, the artist, the consignee, which is going to be the gallery, museum, or organizing entity, a picture of the artwork, description, size, medium, and an estimated value for insurance purposes in case something goes wrong. And this is an example of another consignment, which is a little more complex in that I am consigning via a U.S. gallery to a gallery outside of the U.S. So in that case, the U.S. gallery is the consignor. I mean, on my behalf, they're managing this relationship. And the consignee is the gallery in the other country. And you can see here, this has a specific time frame that the artwork needs to be returned. And there's a caveat that the prices are subject to change if that term is extended. There's also a bunch of language which describes the responsibility of the consignee for transportation and shipment of the work and for keeping the work safe while it's in their care. This is work that needed to be framed, and it was shipped out of the country unframed and then framed on site. And the consignee paid for that. So in the event of any sales of artwork, they are reimbursed for that expense, and then they're entitled to 35% of the sale price after that. I'd say in any relationship where there's at all money involved or any ambiguity, just get the terms written down on paper, and then no one is confused about the roles. No one's confused about what goes where and who is supposed to do what at what time. And most people are great, and I'd say I'd say the biggest problems are often just people being disorganized or overwhelmed, and not necessarily dishonest, but you never know. So just don't leave it to chance. And good luck.